Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Gonna be giving you my player ratings from our 2-0 defeat to Manchester City in the EFL Cup semi-final. So Dean Henderson, he's gonna get a 7 out of 10. He made some good saves in the game to deny Raheem Sterling and Riyad Mahrez. Dean Henderson couldn't really do much for either of City's goals. Yesterday night was his Old Trafford career debut. I had a feeling Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was going to go with Dean Henderson. Maybe some Manchester United fans would have gone with David De Gea instead, as it was a semi-final. So yeah, Dean Henderson 7 out of 10. I think at some point he will become our #1 goalkeeper. And Wan-Bissaka, he's going to get a 5 out of 10. He struggled to get out of his own half. He was careless on the ball. He struggled against Phil Foden a few times. And his poor-headed clearance led to Manchester City's second goal by Fernandinho. It was a good volley though, to be fair. I said on my match reaction, didn't I, that Wan-Bissaka had a poor game. Didn't really get forward enough either. And that's our concern about him, his lack of attacking intent and his distribution. Harry Maguire, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. I thought for the most part of the game he dealt with Riyad Mahrez well. Defensively he was good and he made some good interceptions, did Maguire. You can say he was partly to blame for John Stones' first goal, because Maguire should have attempted to go to John Stones. But prior to that, he had a pretty good game. So yeah, he's going to get a 7 out of 10. Victor Lindelof, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. I thought he made some very good clearances in the game. And he defended well, Lindelof. Luke Shaw, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. I thought he got forward well quite a few times and put a couple of good crosses into the box. Luke Shaw almost gave a clumsy penalty away by blocking Raheem Sterling. But Luke Shaw has improved under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. Paul Pogba, I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10. I thought he underperformed. Paul Pogba looked very, very slow in the game. So weren't the best of performances by him. So 5 out of 10 for Pogba. Fred, I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. He didn't enjoy the best of games either. His passing at times was okay. Tominway, I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10. I don't think he enjoyed the best of games either. I told you McTominay's best game in a Manchester United shirt was a 6-2 win against Leeds a few weeks ago, because he scored 2 goals in that game and he also got an assist. Bruno Fernandes, he's going to get a 4 out of 10. He had a poor game, did Bruno Fernandes. Lacked that creativity. Very wasteful. And his final pass wasn't that good. He did have chances, he had a good chance in the first half that produced a fantastic save from Zach Steffen. That's not Bruno Fernandes' worst game, no, in a Manchester United shirt. Probably his worst game in a Manchester United shirt was the Istanbul Başakşehir game earlier on in the season in Turkey, because I think he got dispossessed around 34 times in that game. But even the good players have bad games here and there. But Bruno Fernandes is still our best player, and he is the best signing we have made since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. You know, Fernandes has been at the club now, is it a year or almost a year? Don't forget he won Player of the Month for December, but he's won that now quite a few times, reflecting on his good performances. So yeah, Bruno Fernandes 4 out of 10. Marcus Rashford, he's going to get a 7 out of 10. Marcus Rashford did look dangerous when he had the ball. Link-up play at times was quite good. And he had some chances. Don't forget he had a chance right at the start of the game that actually led to the offside goal from John Stones. And then obviously he had another chance, but it was a very, very good block by Ruben Diaz. Probably Rashford was one of our best players in the first half. So yeah, he's going to get a 7 out of 10. Anthony Martial, he's going to get a 6 out of 10. I thought Martial looked isolated at times in the game. I don't think he enjoyed the best of second halves. Obviously, we brought 2 substitutions on in the game. We saw Mason Greenwood come on. I don't think he made the best of impact when he came on, so I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10. And Donny van de Beek came on in the game. Can't really give him a rating because he came on with just 2 minutes to go. And a lot of Manchester United fans are angry with Solskjaer bringing Van de Beek on with just 2 minutes to go. So yeah, so that is your player ratings from our 2-0 loss against Manchester City. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer gave his perception on the game. He did say that Manchester United weren't good enough. He said we didn't have enough big chances. He says we are getting closer, but he did make an admission saying that City are the best team in England. Solskjaer did say though prior to the game that there is no excuse if we lose another semi-final. That's our 4th semi-final defeat in a row under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because we lost 3 semi-finals last season. We lost the FA Cup semi-final against Chelsea, we lost the Europa League semi-final to Sevilla, and we lost the EFL Cup semi-final to Manchester City as well last season. So that's the 2nd season in a row that Man City have beaten us in the EFL Cup semi-final. Manchester City have reached their 4th consecutive League Cup final. They will play Tottenham in the final. Man City have won the EFL Cup for the last 3 seasons in a row. But like I said to you on my match reaction yesterday, it was a pretty good game. There was quality in the game. There was intensity. It was certainly a much better game than the game against City at Old Trafford in the league earlier on this season. You know, that game was 0-0. That game lacked quality. There wasn't many chances either. You know, the best chance of that game was from Riyad Mahrez. I think our chances were half chances. You know, we did beat City 3 times out of the 4 times we played them last season. But like I said to you yesterday night, there was good performers for Man City. John Stones did very, very well. Like I said, he scored City's first goal. Obviously came from the set piece. John Stones has now scored 6 goals for Manchester City. Ruben Diaz, you know, he had a very, very good game. And they are building a fantastic partnership for Man City, are John Stones and Ruben Diaz. Ilkay Gundogan, he also had a good game. Obviously, he had a disallowed goal. Phil Foden, he also had a good game as well. He also had a disallowed goal. He's come up City's ranks very, very well. Raheem Sterling was pretty quiet in the first half, but he improved in the second half. Riyad Mahrez, I think, enjoyed a pretty good game. Kevin De Bruyne enjoyed a good game for them. You know, he had the best chance of the first half because he hit the post. You know, Fernandinho had a good game. His second goal was very, very good, to be fair. And analysing it, you know, City did deserve the win, but we certainly had our periods in the game. I wouldn't say we was poor, but I think as soon as City took the lead, that's when they took full control of the game. City did keep the possession well. Like I said, they had chances. But like Solskjaer said, you know, City can be a good possession team, but they can change from a possession team to a counter-attacking team. And let's put into the equation, City were missing quite a few of their key players. You know, there was no Edison. A few City players have had COVID, haven't they? Don't forget. So, yeah, there was no Edison. There was no Gabriel Jesus, but he was on the bench. Sergio Aguero was on the bench, but he didn't play any part. There was no Kyle Walker. There was no Laporte because he's out with injury. There was no Nathan Ake because he's recently been injured. There was no Ferran Torres. There was no Eric Garcia. City went with a similar lineup as they did do against Chelsea. And, you know, in the game, City reverted to a 3-5-2 formation. But I said in my preview, it was going to be a hard game to call because City, you know, have been in a good vein of form. Going into the game, they was unbeaten in their last 11 games in all competitions. Now, obviously, they're unbeaten in their last 12 games in all competitions. You know, we were obviously going into the game on a good vein of form because we are unbeaten in our last 10 league games. You know, City are certainly now back in the title race, like Gary Neville has mentioned. City have rejuvenated themselves because they weren't so good earlier on in the season. But they have got one of the best managers in the world in Pep Guardiola. You know, Guardiola has been City manager now for just over 4 years. You know, City appointed him in 2016 and he's won quite a few trophies at City. You know, he's won 2 Premier Leagues with them, he's won a few EFL Cups with them, he's won the FA Cup with them, and he's won the Charity Shield with them. You know, don't forget earlier on in the season he signed a 2-year contract at Man City. A few seasons ago, City won the domestic treble, so they replicated what we did back in 1999. Because we won the treble in 1999 and that's our greatest achievement. And that was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's most iconic moment as a player. The season City won the domestic treble, they did finish on 100 points. They became the first team to do that in the Premier League. Pep Guardiola's priority at City is to win the Champions League because City have not yet won the Champions League. Guardiola's won the Champions League because he won it when he was at Barcelona. The furthest City have got in the Champions League is the semi-finals. City obviously won the title under Manuel Pellegrini, and they also won the title under Roberto Mancini. When they won the title under Roberto Mancini, that was their first title in 44 years. But City Tottenham final, you know, it is going to be hard to call. Can you say yesterday night that Solskjaer was naive with some of the decisions? You know, like I said earlier on, should he put David De Gea in net? I would have definitely started Bay instead of Victor Lindelof, you know, because Bay has been very, very good since he started playing again. He started our last 4 games in a row prior to the game yesterday night. My only element of concern about Eric Bay is that he's injury prone. But Victor Lindelof obviously has just come back from a back injury. Lindelof and Maguire doesn't really work. I think, you know, we look better at the back with Bay and Maguire. You know, they do look more effective together. You know, should Donny van de Beek have started the game? I think Man United are set to hold crunch talks with Donny van de Beek to clarify his role at the club. Now, I give you the news on him yesterday. Solskjaer said he must wait for his chance at Man United, but Solskjaer insists that he has a bright future at Manchester United and tips Donny van de Beek to emulate Fred and Lindelof by succeeding at the club. And it said, if he didn't play yesterday night, he was actually advised to pack his bags. But he came on with 2 minutes to go. We got Donny van de Beek in a deal worth £40 million. We paid 35 million up front and there was 5 million in add-ons. Do you think Matic should have started ahead of McTominay? Matic didn't play any part yesterday night. Alex Telles, he didn't play any part yesterday night either, but I knew that we'd obviously go with Luke Shaw. So our next game is against Watford in the FA Cup third round at the weekend. Now, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's already said he will be resting quite a few players for that one. So, he's going to make a lot of rotation in the squad. Because obviously, Burnley's coming up in the league. If we do beat Burnley, we will go top of the Premier League by 3 points. Burnley is our game in hand. We was supposed to be playing Burnley at the start of the season, but obviously it got postponed. And obviously it's Liverpool after Burnley. It's going to be interesting to see how Ole Gunnar Solskjaer approaches that game. If we do beat Liverpool, we'll be 6 points clear at the top. But we should be beating Watford at the weekend. Watford are currently in the Championship. I think they're sitting like 6th in the Championship. Their current manager is Vladimir Ivic. Don't forget, before they had Nigel Pearson for quite a while. Now, Watford's key players are obviously Ismaila Sarr and Troy Deeney. Don't forget they did get Glenn Murray on loan from Brighton. They've also got James Garner. They actually got him on loan from us. They've got Tom Cleverley. So Garner and Tom Cleverley could be reuniting with Manchester United on Saturday. So there you go. But it is disappointing that we are out of the EFL Cup, because that was a chance of a trophy. But, there's still 3 trophies that we can pursue this season. We can win the Premier League, we can win the FA Cup, and we can win the Europa League. And that's not going to be an easy tie against Real Sociedad in February in the Europa League, because they've been doing well in the La Liga this season. But I certainly think, we are in the title race. Like I've said to you, we are joint top of the Premier League table with Liverpool at the moment. Don't forget, Solskjaer did say after our 1-0 win against Wolves that we're not in the title races yet, but that's him playing mind games. But he said if we are still challenging at the top come March, he will start to believe that we are in the title race. And I've already said to you, I'm very, very sceptical that we'll win the league this season, but I won't fully disregard it. If we do win the Premier League, it will be our first Premier League title since 2013, and it will be our 21st title overall. I just think that we've got to prove ourselves against the top sides if we are to be true title contenders. We haven't really beat any top sides this season, have we? Apart from PSG, of course, in the Champions League, and RB Leipzig as well. But, we haven't beaten Tottenham this season, lost to them 6-1. You know, we haven't beaten City this season. You know, haven't beaten Chelsea this season. Haven't even beaten Arsenal this season. So, there you go. But actually, our record against the top 6 sides last season was actually good. I think it did say that Solskjaer is ready to spend big for the title. I'm not sure what our transfer budget is for this January transfer window, but Woodward said that he's ready to back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and I said that Ole does deserve more backing at the football club because last summer he wasn't backed enough by the board because we missed out on all of his priority targets, but the board haven't backed any of the managers that we've had since Sir Alex Ferguson left, and that's one of the main reasons why the board's been one of the biggest problems at the club for a long time now. But Woodward has come out to show his support for Ole several times. You know, don't forget our board have a soft stance on Solskjaer. But Woodward's confident of success under Ole. You know, this is Solskjaer's 5th transfer window as Manchester United manager. And Solskjaer's even said we've got to make another few more signings if we are to be title contenders. You know, there has been a lot of players on our agenda. You already know the news on Jack Grealish. He says Manchester United could sign Jack Grealish, but only if we sell Paul Pogba. Villa want at least £90 million for him. Don't forget last Friday night, after we beat Aston Villa 2-1, Solskjaer spoke with Jack Grealish, and reflecting on that, some of our fans were speculating that he could be on his way to Old Trafford. And reportedly he told his friends last summer that he was on his way to Old Trafford, Jack Grealish. There was in for Grealish during the summer, but Villa's valuation was £80 million, and that obviously put us off, and we also had element of concerns about where he would fit in the team. Andy Cole, I think, said Jack Grealish is super, but it wouldn't be right for Man United. Rio Ferdinand's actually urged Man United to sign Jack Grealish, and he doesn't care if Paul Pogba leaves. But back in September, Grealish signed a 5-year contract with Villa. Most of the time now he plays on that left-hand side for Villa. Up until this point, he spent the entirety of his career with Aston Villa. Now, obviously, you know the news on Moises Caicedo from Independiente del Valle. According to recent reports, Everton are now leading the race. It also mentions that Chelsea are looking to hijack our move for the player. Now, El Dairo have recently said that Independiente del Valle have denied that we've made contact over a move for Moises Caicedo. They said, Independiente del Valle, that they expect him to leave, though, at some point this year. He says they have increased their asking price to around €10 million. Does that equate to just over £8 million in pounds sterling? He said last month that we were trying to finalise a deal in the region of around 4.5 million, and it would include a 20% sell-on clause. Moises Caicedo has already revealed that his favourite club is Manchester United. And it did say that he's set to sign a 5-year contract with Man United. You obviously know the news on Erling Haaland. I give you the news on him earlier on this week, was it? Now, reportedly, Solskjaer's priority, and we want to sign Erling Haaland instead of Jadon Sancho. But I think Solskjaer's made a new centre-back his number one transfer priority. We're also going to focus on the outgoings as well as the incomings, though, aren't we? Don't forget, Solskjaer recently held talks with around 6 players he wants to get rid of in this January transfer window. So the players want to get rid of is obviously Jesse Lingard, I give you the news on him yesterday. West Ham have reportedly been in negotiations with his agent. It actually said towards the end of last year that Jesse Lingard's agent was talking with Real Sociedad. He said Sheffield United were in for him. Celtic, Rangers and Villa have also been in for him. Now, I think it did say around 5 or 6 days ago that we did trigger that 1-year option on Jesse Lingard's contract. So that means under contract with Man United until the summer of 2022, but he's into the final 6 months of his current deal, disregarding the option of another year. Lingard doesn't regularly get in our team now, does he? But don't forget, when he was regularly playing and when he was getting his chances, there was a period where he didn't score 1 goal or 1 assist in the Premier League for over a year. Solskjaer's willing to let Lingard leave. Now, I'm expecting Odion Ighalo to leave at some point this month. Odion Ighalo's loan expires on the 31st of January. Obviously, he doesn't get in the team now, Ighalo. But to his credit, he was our top goal scorer in the FA Cup last season. The main explanation why we brought him in January last year on deadline day was to get a cover-up to Rashford, because at the time, Marcus Rashford was out with that back injury. We got Ighalo from Shanghai Shenhua. I'm also expecting Phil Jones to leave the football club. You know, Phil Jones has been very inconsistent. He's obviously out with injury at the moment. Or is he back from injury now? I'm not too sure. But Phil Jones has been very, very inconsistent. You know, he has been with us since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. I'm also expecting us to offload Rojo, because Rojo hasn't really established himself as a first-team regular since he came in. Rojo's been at Man United since 2014. Don't forget, last season he was out on loan with Estudiantes. I'm also expecting Sergio Romero to leave, you know, because Sergio Romero is now our third choice goalkeeper. Daniel James, I think he could go out on loan because he's lost his place in the team. Brandon Williams, I think he's going to be going out on loan. I think it'd be beneficial if we put Williams out on loan because he will gain more experience. Williams is our third choice left back now, don't forget. He seldom plays. Shields Gazette recently said that Newcastle have agreed a deal in principle to get Williams on a 6-month loan. Also says that Southampton want him on loan. And I think, you know, players will also leave Manchester United in the summer transfer window. Like I've said, there's a good chance that Paul Pogba will leave in the summer. It will be the summer if he does leave. I don't think he'll leave in this January window. Very sceptical of that. Could Matic leave in the summer? You know, could Juan Mata leave? You know, we will have to see. But reflect on that loss against Manchester City yesterday night. You know, there'll be no pressure on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I don't think, you know, it's only one game, isn't it? If we had to go winless though in our next 4 or 5 games, then the pressure could be back on Ole again. And like I've said to you, my own element of concern about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is his decision making. Because he makes mistakes in a lot of games, and that obviously costs us. But I've still got to give him credit, you know, because like I've said, he's got us joint top of the Premier League table. You know, he did get us to the EFL Cup semi-final, but it's a shame that we didn't get to the final, because if we had done it, it would have been Solskjaer's first final as Man United manager. You know, we've enjoyed some good results under him. You know, we've been very, very good away from home in the Premier League this season. We haven't lost away from home in the Premier League this season. We've been much better away from home than we have been at home. We have started to win more games at home though recently. Thought we've won 4 games at Old Trafford in the Premier League this season. Solskjaer did well last season in his first full season at the club. You know, he got us to 3 semi-finals, got us qualification for the Champions League and got us 3rd. Second highest we've finished since the Ferguson era. He has made good signings since he got appointed in as Man United manager. He's spent over £200 million at the club, and you know, we've seen a lot of players leave since he got recommended in. But yeah, there will be still quite a few Man United fans that are Ollie in, despite that defeat yesterday. Maybe there's a few Man United fans that are Ollie out. But reflecting how good we've been in recent months and that, you know, United's fans' perceptions have changed on Ollie. I still think Solskjaer will be Man United manager at the end of this season. I think he'll probably be given at least another season at the club, and if he is, that will be his third full season at Manchester United. This is his second full season at the moment. And I said this was always going to be a big season for him. But I said if we win a trophy this season and we finish in the top 4, the top 3, I think that will represent a very, very good season for Man United, and that will give us something to build on. You know, Ole has been in charge of Man United now for just over 2 years. The preview for the Watford game should be coming up this evening. I will be tomorrow morning at the latest, so join me for that, and I will be giving you my starting 11 prediction. There will be another video coming up before the Watford preview. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.